Now live at 5, Duluth police are questioning why a man accused of assaulting a 65-year-old downtown was even released from jail in the first place. Plus,
water levels have started to recede up near the border, but with several feet of water left to go, locals are wary it could be months before a return to normalcy. We tell you more coming up.
And Superior's fireworks have officially been rescheduled for Labor Day weekend.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Nora McEwen. Tonight, Duluth's police chief is questioning why a man accused of assaulting a woman cleaning the deck parking ramp was even released from jail in the first place. Michael Hansen was charged with felony assault, threats of violence, assaulting a police officer, and violating his probation. Police say the 37-year-old was with a group of 3 other men in the deck parking ramp around 6:30 Monday night. That's when they came across Cecile Simonson, a member of the downtown Clean and Safe team. After a quick interaction, police say Hansen assaulted the 65-year-old, hitting her head on the railing several times. She was taken to the hospital with a fractured lower back and had to get stitches. Hansen was arrested several blocks away after a struggle with police officers. CBS 3's Mitchell Zimmerman has been following this story for us tonight. Mitchell, sadly, it sounds like this assault should never have happened.
Yeah, that's right. Police say if it wasn't for a decision to release Hansen while another case of his played out in court, he would have never been at this parking ramp here on Monday night. Now, according to Police Chief Mike Tuskin, Hansen was arrested back in April for a different assault. But Tuskin says at some point he was let out of jail on pretrial release, a decision that's typically up to a judge. In a statement, the chief says during the pandemic, the courts changed their standards to keep the jails from becoming a COVID hotspot. He says jail became a place for the most serious offenders, and judges replaced jail warrants for something called a promise to appear warrant. That allowed defendants to avoid jail time as long as they signed paperwork and promised they'd show up to court. The problem, though, Tuskin said, is many of those who promised to appear didn't. He added that when the courts don't hold people accountable for lower level offenses, they can, and often do, escalate into something more serious. Now, Tuskin and reps from the city attorney's office actually met with local judges to voice their concerns back in April. He says since then, they've seen half as many promise to appear warrants, but changes still take time.
Mitchell, reoffending is certainly a serious concern. Do we know what standards Hansen is being held to now?
Yeah, Nora, he's back in jail tonight on $25,000 bail for this latest crime. And the judge added back $10,000 for his assault in April, which we just learned involved an attack on a woman he didn't know in the Wells Fargo building downtown.
That's Mitchell Zimmerman live for us in Canal Park tonight. Thanks, Mitchell. As we mentioned, Simonson is a member of the Clean and Safe team. Their mission is to promote hospitality and safety in downtown Duluth. They help pick up trash, remove weeds and graffiti, escort people to their vehicles, and more. In a statement tonight, the Greater Downtown Council agreed that repeat offenders need to be held accountable, adding that their thoughts are with Simonson and her family. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has learned his fate for violating George Floyd's civil rights. He has been sentenced to 245 months, that's a little more than 20 years, in a federal prison. That sentence is part of a plea deal. In entering the plea, it was the first time Chauvin admitted he used excessive force when he knelt on Floyd's neck in May of 2020. The former police officer is already serving a 22.5-year sentence for his conviction on state murder and manslaughter charges. As part of today's deal, he will be moved from a state prison where he is serving a sentence in solitary confinement to a federal prison. Chauvin's sentences will run concurrently. The water on Rainy Lake is on its way down, and up near the border, locals are beginning to deal with the aftermath of historic flooding. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham headed up north to International Falls today to see what's being revealed as the water recedes.
It's been almost 2 months since water levels started rising on Rainy Lake, in more than a month since they surpassed record-breaking levels. But now, even with the crest a few weeks behind us, property owners say there's much more work that still needs to be done. The Thunderbird Lodge in International Falls saw some of the worst flooding on Rainy Lake, but managed to keep their lodge dry with piles of sandbags and 13 pumps. It was a painstaking and expensive process, but co-owner David Gruber says it kept them from completely losing the lower section of the lodge. Now the water's finally begun to drop, but even 3 weeks after the crest, there's still about 4 feet to go before it hits normal levels. Over the next few months, property owners are going to be dealing with the painstaking process of cleaning up. Gruber says getting the sandbags in was easy with help from the community, but getting them out is going to be much more difficult.
You know, they're considered contaminated. We need to move those off-site. The county's going to help a lot with that. You know, we're going to have to haul these either by hand or by wheelbarrow to a staging point and then get them in piles, you know, where they can be picked up.
Gruber says there's no way of telling how long it'll be before the water recedes all the way, but even then, they'll need to clear off a layer of pond scum and algae with power washers. One thing everybody up here has echoed is how amazing it's been to see the community and county entities come together to support each other through all of this. Even through record-breaking flooding, the community has remained strong.
Gruber says their resort took a financial hit in June, but many resorts up north, including their own, stayed open as they dealt with the flooding. Tonight, Duluth City Councilors will start narrowing down the list for their newest member. 3 people have applied to fill the council's open seat. They're Ashley Castaldo, Hannah Alstead, and Hannah Smith. Councilors will interview them tonight before a second round of interviews Monday, when they'll pick a final candidate. Tonight's interviews will start sometime after the council's agenda session, which starts at 5:15. You can tune in on WebEx, PAC TV, or KUMD. The seat was left vacant when Duluth City Councilor Renee Van Nett died of cancer last month. Dave is joining us for a quick look at the weather out there, Dave. It was pretty nice today. How's it looking for the rest of it?
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And for the rest of the evening, mainly nice, but there's still a chance for some rain showers. We'll explain why here in just a bit, but we start by eyeing up sky conditions and current temperatures around our region. As promised, it warmed up even closer to the lake. We have 82 in the Twin Ports, 82 for Two Harbors, 82 as well for Solon Springs. Cooler by the lake is a very narrow pool today near Silver Bay. Otherwise, mid to upper 70s and even lower 80s for much of our region. 86 degrees, mid 80s for Siren. Well, higher pressure's trying to bring in the sun, but we still have another nightly chance for showers. Last 3 nights, we've had these little 20% shower chances. From a low pressure system, we've watched go from a little trough into a mature low last night. Now it's an elderly low fading away, but still kicking up a 20 to 30% chance for sprinkles overnight tonight before things start to dry up again and get nice and sunny for tomorrow as high pressure comes more firmly in place. 55 tonight with a shower chance, 72 and mostly sunny tomorrow, so it will become a little bit cooler again after today's surge in temperatures. What will the weekend hold? I'll show you coming up in a little more detail in just a little bit.
Still to come on Live at 5, food trucks, live music, and art. Oh my! Details on the Grand Marais Arts Festival coming up in City by City.
I'm Dr. Lee Kenyon, and I'm a sports medicine physician at St. Luke's. A sports medicine physician specializes in the non-operative and non-surgical treatment of most musculoskeletal conditions, ankle sprains to knee arthritis to rotator cuff tears. We also are able to utilize the ultrasound machine. Not everything that hurts necessarily needs surgery, so we're able to do a lot of non-surgical or non-operative things to make sure people can stay active and really get back to their passions. It really is my goal to make sure that I can see every one of my patients outside doing something that they love as well.
Oh, somebody ordered DQ.
Fernando, he's here.
The drumstick with peanuts blizzard and new caramel drumstick with peanuts blizzard, both with drumstick pieces and world-famous soft serve. That's 2 DQ All-Stars. Wait, for 2 MLB All-Stars?
No way.
Ooh, play it cool, Mr. Delivery Man.
Thank you, Bobby. That's so good.
Play it cool, big hitter.
Have a good blizzard. Have a great season.
Big day for everybody.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
You want to feel important, to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
We know. We felt that way, too.
And that's why we joined the Army National Guard. Take on your legacy.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Keep life zesty with Zantac 360 degrees. Heartburn can't stop this party because Zantac 360's triple action prevents, relieves, and lasts, working in as little as 15 minutes. Keep life zesty with Zantac 360.
Ugh-stipated. Feeling weighed down by a backed up gut. Miralax is different. It works naturally with the water in your body to unblock your gut. Free your gut and your mood will follow.
Name, image, likeness, also known as NIL, is dominating the college sports landscape. Athletes all across the country are able to make millions of dollars due to the new rule change. And while right here in the Northland, millions of dollars are not being brought in, but athletes are still benefiting from the new rule change.
Get your news on the go. The CBS 3 mobile app.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News live at 5. Here's a live look from Two Harbors. Heritage Days kicks off tonight with the car show at 6 and other events for the whole family. The annual celebration carries on throughout the whole weekend. Dave will be in with this week's full forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's take a look around the region. 2 grants to help small businesses on the Iron Range and a citywide cleanup in Chisholm. All that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start things off in Grand Marais tonight, where they have an art-filled weekend in store. The Grand Marais Art Colony will be hosting the annual event, which this year coincides with their 75th anniversary reception. That celebration will be held Saturday night. The art festival itself will be located at Cook County Schools and run all day Saturday and Sunday. Over 80 vendors as well as live music and food trucks will be on scene. We'll have the full lineup at CBS3Duluth.com. Next, we head to the Iron Range with another opportunity for local grants. There are 2 grants open for small businesses through July 15th. The first is the Business Energy Retrofit Grant, which assists with energy efficiency improvements. These improvements will help with reducing utility costs and increase building lifespan. The second grant is the Downtown Building Rehabilitation Grant that assists with costs of code compliance, construction, and remodeling. Both grants are funded by the IRRB and the Arrowhead Economic Opportunity Agency. And we'll wrap things up in Chisholm tonight, where the city is cleaning up. The citywide cleanup begins next Monday and runs through Friday. The goal is to help everyone get rid of unwanted junk and make the city a little tidier. Everything from mattresses to refrigerators, tires to microwave, it all goes. Crews prefer you drop off appliances at Precious Paws Humane Society. All other drop-offs can be made directly at the city garage. There is a small fee for larger items such as couches, and those payments can be made at City Hall. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, today Superior City officials finalized a new date for the postponed fireworks. Details on when you can catch the show in just a few minutes.
Today's record high is 100 degrees from 1936. That was the start of a big, long warm spell during that Dust Bowl era. Today, we had a small warm spell come across. We made it to 84. Normal is 77. I think we already start to cool down again, though, by tomorrow. Drastic cool down or just a little one? I'll show you which way that'll go coming up after our break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Oh, yeah, dude, that doesn't look good. I know what to do. I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, I can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, Check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-476-5600. That's 1-800-476-5600 now.
What are you learning from Girls on the Run?
Never give up.
Beyond this gate is actually the border with Ukraine. We've seen people not just opening their hearts to Ukrainian refugees, but their homes. Where will you go?
I'm here for you.
A local business owner here in Duluth wants to restore the Passerette Terrace, but he may already be hitting some snags.
Warmer temperatures today may drive a little bit of rain tonight.
Tonight at 6 on Live Local CBS 3.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Grant. I am so excited to be waking up with you every weekday from 5 to 7 right here on CBS 3.
Wake up with Natalie and Peter on CBS 3. CBS 3 weather is brought to you by Heritage Window and Door. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
It was nice to see Quinn Gorham up there in International Falls checking on what the lakes are doing here. And our good friend Mo McKibbage, he sends us this picture. He's an International Falls native. Of course, this is the famous mermaid on Rainy Lake. And last week, the water was up to her neck. Normally, you can see the full statue sitting on a knoll. Now, this shows how much water there is, but it also shows the water is receding. So that's great news for folks up north, although there's still a sign, a hint that it'll take a while longer for the water levels to get back towards normal. Well, I don't think we're going to add up too much to those excessive water levels here tonight. We do have another slight rain chance. Last night's actually did pay off in Duluth. We had a 20% chance for rain, and we got about 0.04 of an inch. Could do the same thing again tonight as this long-lived low-pressure system drags itself through our area. Right now, though, we have partial sunshine at the airport in Duluth with a current temp of 82, 5 degrees warmer than the normal of 77. North-northwest winds going 7 miles per hour, humidity 52%, and our air pressure 29.98 inches of mercury. And we've got that occluded low-pressure system going through our area. 2 nights ago, it was just a trough of lower pressure, a low in its infancy stages. Yesterday, it was a mature low. Now that it's wrapped around itself and occluded, it's in its elderly stages, but still creating a 20 to 30% chance for showers tonight. Looking at the close-up Doppler, is that paying off for anybody? Well, not with buckets full of water, no. There's a couple of showers near Thunder Bay. We had a few crossing into northern Wisconsin, actually, triggered by the frontal boundaries of the low-pressure system. 20 to 30% chance we'll get a little more here as the night goes on. But we are still waiting slowly and patiently for that easygoing high pressure to firmly slide into our area and give us dry conditions, which it should do for Friday and also for Saturday. But later on Saturday, we'll already see on our horizon the next low-pressure system to bring us showers and thunderstorms. That'll kick off fairly early in the day, probably on Sunday, a 30% chance. But the shower and storm chance from this low could last through Monday and Tuesday as well. Tonight, well, thunderstorms may try to pay off, aided and abetted by the heat of the day along with those fronts and that occluded low, but generally we'll call it a 20% shower chance. Low temps in Minnesota go 52 to 57. In Wisconsin and Michigan, it's a 30% shower chance with lows there from 54 to 57. Tomorrow, as that high keeps making its way towards our region, we should go back to mostly sunny, and our high temps will run 71 to 77. The normal is 77, so still fairly mild, but not as warm as today. I don't know if any of us will get into the 80s tomorrow. For Minnesota tomorrow, well, maybe International Falls will get to 80. It'll drop back to the 60s by the lake and 72 to 80 for the inland areas. And with our extended forecast, sunshine and low 70s for the Twin Ports at least is going through Saturday. Then our rain chance arrives Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 30 to 60% chances for showers and storms with our range of temps 75 to 80, followed by sunny up and cooling down by Wednesday, Nora.
Well, after a few kind of gloomy days that we've had, I'm happy to see that we have some sun at least tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, and it's not overly warm for those who don't like it too hot and humid, but it's not freezing cold and raining like it was on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're in the happy zone here.
Yeah, and this is good news for the fireworks being rescheduled.
Yeah, Duluth on Friday, Superior come Labor Day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. Actually, a perfect segue into our next story here.
All right.
Fireworks fans in Superior will have to wait a few months for the show to go on. After a meeting today, the city has decided to move the display to Labor Day. This means it will now coincide with Duluth Superior Pride. Details on music, vendors, and other events are still in the works. Meanwhile, the stage is set for the Duluth fireworks show happening at Bayfront Park tomorrow night. City officials postponed the original show due to storms on Monday. With the weather forecasted to be nice, like we just heard from Dave, gates will open at 4 with food vendors and live music. Fireworks will light off at 10:10 p.m. And a heads up, if you're heading down to Canal Park and Bayfront areas tomorrow, the aerial lift bridge will stay down from 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Friday, and the Minnesota Slip Bridge, or the Blue Bridge, won't be lifting between 9 to 11:30 p.m. Duluth's Movies in the Park is back for another season. The Greater Downtown Council event starts at 9:05 tomorrow night. The first movie on schedule is Sing 2. It's a good one. You can bring your own blankets and chairs to Leif Erikson Park. You can find the full list of the rest of the movies planned for the next 8 Fridays on our website. And a big announcement from Duluth Air Show organizers tonight. They've added the F-35 fighter jet demonstration team to the lineup. Major Kristen Wolf pilots the team. She's been a major player in inspiring women to join the aviation industry. The air show, which is July 16th and 17th at the Duluth Airport, will also feature the Air Force Thunderbirds, a B-52 flyby, and much more. You can still buy tickets online. The Duluth-based 148th Fighter Wing has been lobbying the federal government to add F-35s to their fleet for several years now. Senator Amy Klobuchar visited the base last month, pledging her support to make it happen. Well, it is that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets. Today's pet comes to us from Range Regional Animal Rescue in Hibbing. This is Sadie. She's a Catahoula Shepherd mix that is about 1.5 years old, and she's so cute. She is a high-energy gal who needs some exercise every day. She loves to play fetch, go swimming, and run. She does well with other dogs, but cats aren't really her thing. If you would like to set up an appointment to adopt Sadie, you can call the number on your screen. Still to come, after months of turmoil, Prime Minister Johnson announced his resignation this morning. Details on his exit next.
Let your home improvement company help you celebrate Independence Day. Get windows, doors, and bathrooms by Bathlinet, all with excellent warranties and all installed by trained and certified professionals. As always, you can get financing for 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2024. And we are extending our summer savings with 50% off all labor. So celebrate freedom by getting your project done right the first time. Your home improvement company, where it's your home made better.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare coverage helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-476-5600. That's 1-800-476-5600 now.
Coming up Friday on CBS 3 this morning, a month after the record-breaking crest in International Falls, we're taking a look at how the community is picking up the pieces.
And we got plenty of sunshine to close out the rest of this week.
So wake up with us on Friday, starting at 5 a.m.
Get your news on the go. The CBS 3 mobile app.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is resigning after a series of scandals turned his own Conservative Party against him. Ian Lee reports from London.
Crowds gathered at 10 Downing Street singing and holding signs for Boris Johnson's announcement that he's stepping down as British Prime Minister.
I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
Johnson's resignation came after more than 50 members of his own Conservative Party quit and urged him to do the same.
Anyone quitting now, after defending all that, hasn't got a shred of integrity.
One of the biggest sources of frustration with Johnson was the so-called Partygate scandal. Leaked photos appear to show the Prime Minister and members of his government holding booze-filled social gatherings in the early days of the country's COVID lockdowns.
He's a disgrace.
I'm just surprised it took him so long, really.
What finally brought Johnson down was the crisis that erupted after an official he appointed was accused of groping men at a private members club. After first denying he knew of previous sexual misconduct complaints against Chris Pincher, Johnson had to apologize and admit he had been briefed before.
In hindsight, it was the wrong thing to do. I apologize to everybody who's been badly affected.
Thursday, Johnson expressed some remorse he didn't complete everything he set out to do when he swept to power in 2019.
Of course, it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself.
He says he'll remain in office until a new prime minister is chosen. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The list of likely contenders to replace Johnson is growing, including former members of his own cabinet. We'll be right back after the break.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. When joint pain or injury becomes too much to bear, turn to Essentia Health's expert team to keep you moving forward.
Are you looking to be trained in a new career with plenty of room for advancement? Renewal by Anderson of the Lake Superior region is seeking skilled laborers, administrators, and detail-oriented individuals to expand their experience and work product knowledge. With paid training and a generous benefits package, including health and dental insurance, retirement match, 526 plan support, PTO, HRA, IRA plans, and much more. This is a company you'll love working for. Come join our team, stacked with experts in supportive leadership while enjoying a fun and welcoming work environment. Visit RBALakesuperiorCareers.com to apply today.
At MediaCom, we believe that whether you live here, or right here, or way out in the middle of anywhere, you should have access to fast, reliable internet. That's why we were one of the first to bring gig speeds to every customer we serve. Why we're blazing new paths to bring fast internet even further. And why we're leading the way in developing one of the nation's first 10G platforms. It doesn't matter where you are. With MediaCom, you're always moving forward.
Keep life zesty with Zantac 360 degrees. Heartburn can't stop this party because Zantac 360's triple action prevents, relieves, and lasts, working in as little as 15 minutes. Keep life zesty with Zantac 360.
Ugh-stipated. Feeling weighed down by a backed up gut. Miralax is different. It works naturally with the water in your body to unblock your gut. Free your gut and your mood will follow.
Name, image, likeness, also known as NIL, is dominating the college sports landscape. Athletes all across the country are able to make millions of dollars due to the new rule change. And while right here in the Northland, millions of dollars are not being brought in, but athletes are still benefiting from the new rule change.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Grant. I am so excited to be waking up with you every weekday from 5 to 7 right here on CBS 3.
Wake up with Natalie and Peter on CBS 3.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Thursday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6. Recapping our top story at 5, Duluth's police chief is questioning why a man accused of assaulting a member of the Clean and Safe team while at the deck parking ramp was released from jail. The chief says the man was arrested back in April for a different assault. At some point, a judge ordered his pretrial release. The chief says during the pandemic, the courts changed their standards to keep the jails from becoming a COVID hotspot. And tonight at 6, we were in International Falls today as historic floodwaters are finally receding. We hear from staff at the Thunderbird Lodge on how they fought to stay open and what the cleanup looks like now. So Dave, how's the rest of the night looking?
Well, up around International Falls, the flood warning does continue. Waters may be receding, but they're still troublesome near International Falls and Rainier, so that flood warning from NWS Duluth in effect still until further notice. Our short-term forecast says there's a slight 20 to 30% chance for some rain showers here tonight as a low-pressure system continues to glide by. Then high pressure should finally arrive for Friday, making it mostly sunny with a Twin Ports high of 72, a little bit cooler right by the lake and a little bit warmer inland.
That's your news at